Today on Tiny Talk, I am here with,
Jose Landeros.
yes, and your role with the propositions that were on the ballot for this November was.
I'm the Deputy Chief Administrator for Strategic Capital Development.
Love that.
So our office worked on coordinating all the different internal and external services that we did. So we work closely with operations and our communications team and with Public Works on putting all the information together to share with the public.
Cool. All right. We are going to be talking about the new medical examiners building.
Mhm.
This is one of the propositions that was passed in the November ballot.
Right.
And I have a couple of questions for you.
Cool.
So, my first question to you is, what is the role of the medical examiner in our county?
So the medical examiner is an office that's required by law.
Okay.
It's there to make sure that any unattended deaths are investigated.
Yes.
And so they'll do autopsies and provide those reports.
Mhm.
Those reports can play a critical role in criminal cases
Yep.
because it can help to determine the cause of death. It can also provide other information through their forensic scene investigation efforts.
Right.
So they're a state mandated service that serves a very critical role, not just for the public, but also for the judiciary system and our administration of justice.
Oh, I love that. And so my next question to you is, what would have happened if this proposition was not passed?
Yeah, so if a proposition is not approved by voters,
Uh-huh.
the commissioner's court can either ask the voters for authorization again,
Okay.
or we have to wait 3 years before we can issue any sort of debt to finance the project. So the project might have been put on hold otherwise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And just the fact that, this was thankfully passed, the medical examiner plays a huge crucial role in county functionality, right?
Mhm.
So my next question is, I guess this is out of a constituent point of view, and maybe you can uh, answer as like a constituent yourself too.
Sure.
But from my understanding, this rise of awareness to get a new medical examiner was because post COVID,
Yeah.
right? So why now? Why now a new medical examiner building?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a really good question. It's something that we heard a lot.
Yeah.
There's two things that happened in 2019, 2020 that unfortunately highlighted this for us. The
Right.
first was the mass casualty event of the August 3rd shooting.
Mm-hmm.
The significant loss of life there, placed emphasis on the fact that we had a facility in 2019
Mm-hmm.
that was designed and constructed in the early 90s
Right.
that hadn't grown in capacity despite the fact that the population has increased substantially, right? In fact, when the facility was opened, our population was between 5 to 600,000.
Mm-hmm.
We've grown by almost 300,000 since then,
Wow.
and the facility has remained the same size, right? And then the other event is the one you mentioned, which is the pandemic.
Right.
And in August of 2020, when El Paso was the epicenter
Mm-hmm.
of the national pandemic, we had decedents and remains that were having to be stored in trailers, and we had no staffing to meet that need. Now,
Yep.
obviously, that's a very extraordinary circumstance.
Yeah.
It's not common, and we hope that we don't ever encounter something like that.
Yep.
But I think it did again give us awareness of the fact that our facility had not grown.
Wow. Yeah. And that's really important for the audience to know, like, what they really voted for, and what to expect for the aftermath of these bonds being passed. So
Yeah.
yeah, the more you know. Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.